When law enforcement officers came looking for Carlos Boles, he was ready, opening fire on them in a deadly barrage of bullets. The original warrant for Boles' arrest on drug charges and assaulting an officer were issued last November, a month after he committed the crimes. Circuit Attorney Jennifer Joyce blames the police department for allowing Boles to remain free for so long.
Every chance that they had to take an action that would result in him staying in custody, they failed to do that. The police.
But Police Chief Dan Isom says the circuit attorney is the one who shoulders the blame because prosecutors should have filed the charges needed to keep Boles behind bars right after he was arrested.
I think he should have been charged immediately. I mean, it's absolutely. If charges had been filed for assault second, the day that officers brought the case down, there would have been some kind of bond set for this individual who assaulted the officer, and we wouldn't have been in this position.
This unprecedented public finger-pointing between the police chief and circuit attorney is a symptom of a system with major problems, and the Boles case is just one example. Carlos Boles had a long criminal record. He was convicted of an assault and repeated drug charges long before his most recent arrest. Last October, police saw Boles near his South St. Louis apartment and suspected that he had illegal drugs on him. According to a police report, an officer followed Boles, who refused the cop's order to stop, then quickly turned around and punched the officer in the neck, grabbed him by the throat, and squeezed. Boles threatened to kill the cop and his partner. Before Boles finally surrendered, the officers had maced him twice, tased him 3 times, punched him up to 8 times, and hit him with a baton as many as 8 times, including once or twice in the head. Despite that, police only requested that prosecutors file misdemeanor assault and resisting arrest charges.
Through their actions and through their words, they didn't do anything to indicate that this individual was a priority to them, or they considered him to be extraordinarily dangerous.
The circuit attorney didn't file any charges at that time, and Boles was released the day after his arrest.
The assault charge, as it was initially brought to us, was a misdemeanor. We ultimately did upgrade it to the felony.
Why couldn't you have done that within 24 hours?
Because that
you didn't need the drug test results for that.
No, we didn't need the drug test results for that. But I tell you what, when you're in the warrant office, you look at a lot of things to decide what charge is appropriate. Primary among that are what the investigating officers tell you and what the witnesses and victims of the crime say.
A month later, lab tests showed Boles had heroin and crack cocaine with him when he was arrested in October. Prosecutors filed drug charges and a felony charge of assaulting an officer. A warrant was issued for his arrest.
When we developed information that this person was extremely violent, meaning that he wasn't going to be taken alive, we started looking for him. I'm not sure the exact date, but we started looking for him.
Do you know the month?
And the point is that if the charges had been issued up front, we wouldn't be in this position.
Because of a staffing shortage in the police lab and issues relating to certification, it often takes police a month to get test results on drugs. And there is an understanding with prosecutors that police will apply later for drug charges. But there are exceptions. Circuit Attorney Joyce says last week police got test results on one case within 24 hours, even though prosecutors didn't request it. Police could have fast-tracked drug tests for Boles, too, and based on positive results, prosecutors would have charged him while he was behind bars, and a bond would have been set.
With the record that he had, the chances of him being free were pretty slim. Probably not, no.
Jack Garvey is the presiding circuit court judge.
I think there's blame all around. I think that the blame goes that we should have an instant drug testing, and we have to make a commitment to that, law enforcement. I think that the courts need to stay on top of cases and make sure that those people that are charged are brought in as quickly as possible and working with law enforcement. I think that there's a lot of things that can be done here.
Judge Garvey says a slower-moving legal system delays justice. And while the judge, the circuit attorney, and the chief all agree that major changes are needed, they seem to disagree on how to get them done. Craig Cheatham, News 4.